One of the things I always tell people that are interested in buying an RV is if you're not prepared to do a little bit of the maintenance work yourself, you might want to reconsider your purchase. Taking your RV and sticking in an RV repair shop, it costs a lot of money, but it also costs a lot of time. So today, I'm going to show you how I fixed this $2,000 12-volt refrigerator for less than 50 bucks. So let's get into it. Now the first thing you're going to do whenever you get the drawers out is you're going to have to remove these two screws that you see here on the bottom part of your back wall. Do it without stripping them. Alright, once you do this, you can pull this out briskly. And you'll see a set of wires here. There's two here. And you just squeeze the little tab right here, and you give it a gentle pull. Same thing. Squeeze it, give it a little gentle pull. The other thing that you're going to do here is we're going to end up pulling out this little guy here, which is called a defrost sensor based off what the manufacturer said. And I'll show you how I ended up fixing this device. So, all right. Now a couple different things I'm going to show you. I'm going to have to step back a little bit in time because I already ended up repairing it, but I wanted to take it back apart and so I could show you exactly what I ended up doing. This little device here, the black end is the one, or part of the original piece that was defective, and it wasn't picking up any continuity. And this is a defrost sensor based off of what the manufacturer said. It had a very similar head or sensor tip on the very end of the black part here. Because it wasn't working, what I ended up doing is I cut the head off of it, and I ended up buying this piece that you can see is in yellow with the new head. And this is listed as a thermistor on Amazon. A lot of people say that the two things are one and the same, interchangeable. The manufacturer kind of didn't know what I was talking about whenever I said thermistor. And then the fan itself, I ended up having to replace because it wasn't spinning around freely in the housing, and I ended up having to splice it together with the original clip as well. But to get to this fan, you have to take apart this entire casing or this housing, and there's a couple things you have to do to be able to do that. Number one, you got to make sure that you can pop off these four clips here real quick, or pry open these four clips. And it's really quite simple. You just want to be careful that you don't end up breaking anything. But you just stick a screwdriver in there, or you can just give it a gentle pull in each one of those tabs. And you can see that it already ended up separating. And then the other thing is you got to go all the way around this housing. And then what you have to do is you have to just continue to do the prying throughout this housing. And there's additional clips that are in here. So you can see right there, I just ended up popping that one. And you come down here and you slide it into the next area. And then they'll continue to disengage. And then you just go all around the edge. And you'll find, once again, that they will pop right out. And eventually the whole thing will disengage and you'll be able to get it. Clip in here somewhere. There it is. There's the other one. I think there's three on the back. There we go. And then you pull the wires through here. And this is the part where I was telling you that I ended up splicing it together. And that was after I bought this fan right here. I bought it on Amazon. I can most certainly link this in the content or in the remarks below as well. Super simple to replace. You just disengage this one screw, pull it out from these little tabs. It slides right out. Put the new one in, put the screw back in. And then, like I said, I spliced this because I had to use the existing clip. And whenever I spliced it, it's real simple. It's red, white, and black. You just connect the red, white, and black together, splice it, and then after that, just reassemble it. Super, super simple. So you're going to end up taking these lines that you see here, and you're just going to funnel them through this hole. Make sure you don't put too much tension on it. Make sure that they're coming out. And the one that you just spliced back in has tons of slack. The other one, not so much. The one thing you want to make sure that you do, though, is snap this back in nice and easy. And that's it. It's back in. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and assemble this thing again. First thing we're going to do is take the defrost sensor / thermistor, and we're going to plug it up here. Really can only go one way. You push it up until it catches, okay? And then you stick the little sensor right in that piece there and just push that wire back a little bit so it doesn't get hung up. Now, whenever we're putting this piece in here, you got to make sure that you get as close as you can with it. Almost kind of stand it up, right? Because there's not a whole lot of slack in these lines. And once again, you can see there's one here that will fit the red, white, and black. And as soon as I did that, the fan already kicked on because it was wanting to run. And then there's one for the black. Make sure they're both engaged. And that fan is so much more quiet because it's just wanting to go ahead and start pushing all this cooled air up. Okay? Now what we're going to do is make sure that we don't pinch those clips. But you just slide it up into this channel, okay? And then once you do that, it's really just applying a little bit of pressure to get it back in place. And you can see that it fits nice and snug. Once you get it in there, the only other thing you got to do after that, you put your 2 screws in. Now that flashing F7 in the refrigerator, eventually it does end up going away, or at least mine went away. That's just a fault whenever you end up changing out that thermistor. I guess the little board inside needs to make sure that it recognizes it properly, but it will start reading an accurate depiction of what the temperature is. And that's it. I spent less than $50 in parts to save me from having to replace the $2,000 refrigerator that stands behind me. If you have any questions about the video, please post them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, I'm going to continue to post content regarding RVs and RV parks. So if you liked what you saw today, like and follow us, and we'll see you again in the future. Take care.